This is my Jake replacement today. Her name is Winnie. We're gonna go through the top 10 albums of the year. Let's go. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Zach here, Jay-Z Reacts. We got my little puppy here today. We got the top 10 albums of 2024. We're gonna drop that today. Gonna go through my list. It was a crazy year for not even just hip-hop, but soul, like all indie rock, like tons of different stuff. It was pretty tough, honestly. It was a pretty big list. So I broke it down into kind of some smaller artists I want to talk about. Then I got like, basically it's the top 15. So like the 5 honorable mentions, not really in any order, but 5 of them. And then the top 10 I'll break into it. Kind of just give like a little bit about each album I thought. And then also like, tell you like a favorite song or something. But we'll see how the puppy cooperates in this video, but let's get it. I only have one treat for the dog, so gotta make it last. Sit. Good. Smaller ones. I'm gonna have 4. We're first starting off with Brent 3 by Jeremy Zucker, Chelsea Cutler. This is a collab. I actually just saw them in concert as well. This is their 3rd collaborative project, and I mean, I loved it. Their chemistry is off the charts. They have this super smooth like way of conveying this like love and tenderness that they're able to show and like really build their own. It's like they're good at building their own personal growth, like experiences, and combining them with each other. So it's just good. If you want to check out, look kind of like a slower vibed album, check them out. Next up, we got Wallow's 3rd LP. Oh my gosh, this thing was sensational. I loved it. I bumped it so much in the summertime. As the year kind of went by, as the year kind of went on, I mean, it definitely has that nice summer spring vibe to it that I love playing, like at the beach and stuff. It's got this like anthematic, like popish kind of thing with some funky stuff. Like I just loved it. Number 3, yeah, what are you looking at? Number 3, we got Summer Salt. They actually dropped 2 projects this year, kind of did a remastered thing with Driving to Hawaii. Then they have Electrolytes, but again, maybe it's just because I love the beach so much, but like, woo, this was fire. Like, I love what they did on these. It's just this fun indie rock beachy vibe, and I'm just here for everything. So if you want something like that, definitely get this. Last one of the like smaller works, we got one that dropped super early, one that Jake is gonna just be obsessed with as well. It's Serpent with Feet. It is Grip. Josiah, oh my gosh, man, they destroyed this project. This was so good. You had the night like kind of soften throughout the project. It started really dark and like just kind of lightened up throughout it. And I mean, the lust like becoming into this love centered theme around it. I just loved this one for sure. This one just barely fell out of like honorable mentions, but I really like that project. Moving into the honorable mentions, this again is in no order, but it's just some ones I really loved and enjoyed. I just want to give a little shout out to. So number 1, we got No Worries, Why Lord. Ooh, this was really good. This was actually really good. It was tough to leave it out of the top 10, but it had these like dusty grooves. It had the typical Knowledge and Anderson .Paak. Like, it's been, what was it, like 8 years since Yes Lord, and like, wow. I mean, you can tell they just love doing stuff together, and I loved everything they did. Some of my favorite songs of the year were on this. 86 Centra was phenomenal. Daydreaming has just been a song I've just smashed all the time. I mean, all the features were so good, and there was so much to it. And yeah, I mean, I just love the project. Next up, it'd been 4 years, but Mr. Big Sean, Detroit Dawn dropped Better Me Than You, and this project was just so good. I feel like it was a little bit long, and I think it lost a lot of people's attention and focus throughout it, but I actually really liked the vibe and the tone and what he was trying to convey throughout it. I feel like he still gets me with the raps, the talking voice, the beats, and like the overall theme here of like him really focusing on what's important to him and like what he's progressed and kind of been through, and I love it. I mean, like I said, maybe it is a little bit too long, but the 7-track run of the intro, Pressure, Iconic, Typecast, Break the Cycle, Who You Are, Yes, It Is What It Is, it just was flowing. And then he had this little section in the middle that just had a kind of like an artist feature, I guess, on each one for like 7 straight tracks again. Like, you could just tell, and I love the whole theme of like the pressure, clarity, focus, like that kind of thing. I thought he did a really good job. Next up is Don Toliver with Hardstone Psycho. Guys, if you saw the reaction video that I did to this, I was like a little bit disappointed by it. Like, I wasn't super high on it, and I love Dawn. And and I really loved his last project, and I really loved the one before that. So we have Lovesick, Life of a Dawn, and like, I think his progression's been so sick, but this one, I really feel like it's Dawn at his, like, what he wants to do. He wants to be this kind of funky, like, hard character with this still melodic side to him. And I feel like he really found this, like, funk, soul, metalish, like, space that he just wants to, like, ride out on. Like, I feel like he was free. He was just so, not happy, I guess, but, like, he felt free on it. Like, this is what he wanted to do. I mean, these little, like, 4-disc sections he went on were just so good. I mean, Kryptonite, Tore Up, Brotherstone, Attitude, Bandit, Glock, Ice Age, 4x4, Purple Rain, New Drop, Backstreets, like Inside, Hardstone, and then he hit the Deluxe 2 with it. Like, I felt like he just did really good here, and this is one that at first I wasn't too blown away, but it just, like, it caught me by the end of the year, and I actually really enjoyed it. Fourth one I want to mention is Leon Bridges, Leon, and oh my goodness, this was one that snuck up on me too, because it dropped and I was like, oh yeah, like, I gotta listen to this. Like, it's been a little bit, and I love the stuff he's done, and he did it here as well. This, one of my favorite R&B soul projects. There's a lot of good ones this year, but you have this, like, 50s, 60s, and the 80s, 90s-ish vibe. You got him really trying to find this love, and probably one of my tracks of the year with Ain't Got Nothing on You, like, a phenomenal song, just going through the love, the hope that, like, life kind of has, and, like, also talking about these, like, stories that kind of shaped into who he is, and just, like, it's just so nostalgic, and truly, like, he cared about the project, and I love when I can see that with artists. What'd you find? Was that a straw? You found a straw wrapper, huh? Alright, last one I want to mention with honorable mention is, you guys might maybe clown this for me, but, like, Tommy Richmond, Coyote, come on. I don't even care about the TikTok, like, $1 Million Baby, like, Devil's Alive, like, that kind of stuff. I didn't even need any of that. I liked him before, and I really liked what he did on this. I think it took a lot for him to come into this and be like, I mean, he had a lot on his shoulders to, like, actually put out something that was quality. And I mean, I felt like he put out something pretty good here. You got a lot of stuff with, there's these, like, nostalgic R&B-ish vibes that kind of tapping into these kind of like Prince and MJ, like Michael Jackson tendencies a little bit, and kind of making it his own. I mean, I put this on and I just get thrown into this, like, 80s space, and I love it. I love Whitney, Temptations, then the Tennessee, Thought You Were the One, Letterman, Green Therapy, like, thing, and then getting into the end with the Seems Like Time Moves Forever of just floating and just, like, being lifted up. I feel like no, I don't think this album got as much love as it deserved. I feel like people were wanting, like, him to drop because of how big he'd been, and then they were kind of just like, oh, okay, cool. But I actually was impressed, and I had fun listening to the project. Number 10 on the list is probably pretty low-key that maybe you guys haven't heard, but it is Orion's Son with an album, Orion, and wow, this was so good. Like, so silky. Orion's Son already had a phenomenal past performance. I saw her open up for Daniel Caesar, which was phenomenal work. And I just loved it. I mean, the flow of from the beginning of When I Was in Love, Already Gone, Mary Jane, Sweet. Oof, like, there's just so much to it. And I was just so in love with the space she created. I think she has some insane, like, major potential on this. Like, I really felt like this West Coast chill, soulful vibe was, like, really focused. And that's what I wanted it to be. And it was just perfect, like, just focused. Like, it felt like the energy was really driven into what she wanted to convey. So, major flowers, because I actually think the project is beautiful. My number 9 album of the year is Mutt by Leon Thomas. Another Leon. Wow, it's a year of the Leons, really. But I like this one. I mean, what can't this man do? Sing, act, produce. Like, what does he not do? Write songs. Like, beautiful. And I mean, he basically showcased everything on this. Like, I didn't see anything he did wrong on here. It was so, like, what's the word? Like, he really showed off here. I feel like his like vocal prowess, his, like, ability to, like, transition between pieces and, like, lyrical talent. And I love the theme of, like, moving through this, like, stories of, like, love and relationships and, like, looking for, like, that soulmate. And I love that he did it on this amazing soulful thing. Some favorite tracks, I mean, Mutt is sensational. I Used To, so good. Yes It Is, Answer Your Phone, Feelings on Silent, Vibes Don't, Safe Place, Dancing With, ugh. Guys, if you haven't checked this out and you want a good R&B vibe, please listen to this. Album number 8 is Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal. Clever rhymes, amazing bar for bar skills. The raps were sensational, and like just showing off that you're not just like a one-hit wonder kind of person, like a TikTok star, I guess, but just can really hone in on what you do and create this cool space. She did it on that live show, and then the Leonard Cohen show or something like that. That she just showed that she can do everything. She can produce this amazing little like set with stuff, like, and I think it's just so captivating was the thing that just had me the whole time just entranced by the space she created. So big flowers to Doechii. I think she got some big stuff coming up in the future. My number 7 album of the year is a surprise, but it is JPEG Mafia, I Lay Down My Life For You. Wow. He surprised me again, man. He did it with the last one, and he did it again. And I think this is definitely his best. Like, this space is sensational. The raps, the rhymes, the production, the ability to, what's it called? Like, just kind of like feel free and like do things musically that you wouldn't suspect someone to do, but be so successful at it, you know? Like, that's just kind of what Peggy's been known for, is to surprise people and not be like really cozy in what he does, but like really stretch the boundaries. And I feel like he did so good here. You have the features were sensational with just a couple. Vince Staples and Denzel songs were crazy. And then like probably again another song of the year with Either On or Off the Drugs. Like, wow, he hits this space. And I think one thing I really liked about this one is it wasn't too much. It wasn't like too crazy for someone like me who's not huge into Peggy and like Danny Brown, but he just was able to captivate you in a way that like really made you think about what he was trying to convey. And I mean, the space was just really open and vulnerable, and it was really good. Album number 6 of the year is Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q with Blue Lips. The curation, guys. I think that's what it really was for me. Like, he didn't just make this like like a star-studded cast. Like, he really tried to, I feel like, curate this amazing project, and I just loved it. I mean, I was happy to, oh my gosh, I was happy to see Q just like really buckle down, get into what he wants to do. And you even still had a bunch of stars like Rico Nasty on pop. You had Devin Malik who's kind of shining, Freddie Gibbs, Ab-Soul, Childish Major comes on later. It was like a little long, but like overall I love the way it flowed. And you feel Q just like really hit a stride from the beginning, really. And like pop just hits this space, and once pop plays you're like, uh-oh, and it just keeps going and going and going, and it doesn't stop. So it was tough. The top 7, I would say, I was like, this is kind of tough, but maybe 6, because especially starting here with Schoolboy, Blue Lips, like this from the top, from like the rest was like really tough to kind of like separate them. So a really good project. Top 5, baby. Number 5, an album I am obsessed with. It is Cigarettes After Sex X's. Whew. Guys, this is the best Cigarettes After Sex thing. I go to the grave with that. From the opening sound to like the very last beat, you were just thrown into one of the best spaces that I think that Sass has ever created. Oh, now you want to play, huh? Yeah, now you want to play? No, the space is sensational. Every song just delves you deeper and deeper, and you're just in this dreamlike world of just, oh, guys, I am obsessed with this project. Let me pull it up, because the tracks, like just from the opening jump, like I said, once X's comes on, you're just like, what? Like, I was just so in love with it. It's 10 tracks, nothing too crazy, but it just keeps you under, like, you're wrapped around their finger of what that they just want you to like feel in this dream like trance. And I loved it. Everything from the Marvel Silver Sable to Hano Blue, Holding You, Holding Me. I'm just like floating by in life, and Ha and Dreams from, guys, this, if you kind of like Cigarette After Sex. If you haven't heard anything from Sass, like, this is it. And this could be one of my favorites for a while. And I mean, this alt space that they made was just chef's kiss. All right, number 4. It is GNX by Cornrow Kenny, Kendrick Lamar. This is one that I think just needs to sit with me longer. I think that so much, it came out at a time where so much like ended at the end of the year, and I had been wanting to wrap up like what I thought about the year. And so, yes, I've listened to it a ton. I'm murdering it on Apple Music, but it is one that I really want to get into more. And as a Kenny fan, I feel like it's exactly what we want. You were going crazy. It's exactly what we want, but like not what we expected. Like, it is just a project that I think not many, like, I think a lot of people will like it, but it's one that I think is gonna grow over time, because the space that Kenny's in with this West Coast stuff is just crazy right now, and I love what he did here. It's not quite as like nasty and like really star-studded in a way, but like it's kind of chilled and more cool. You got a dog, so you got the way it moves from like Whacked Out Murals to Squabble Up to Luther. And I think some songs that people might not like as much, I'm really starting to enjoy. But I don't know, I feel like there are some that I really still need to sit with me. And I love the story of Reincarnated. And I just think I like the past talk of Kendrick, like really going into his past stuff and like TDE things, West Coast vibes, things he's felt, and like really just getting into the old school nostalgia of the GNX. So it's good. I really like it. I think it just needs to sit with me longer, but it's Kendrick, so. My number 3 album of the year is kind of a surprise, but it has just had me in a chokehold the whole year, guys. It is Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft. What an album. What a freaking album. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like Happier Than Ever, honestly, like at all. I liked some older stuff for Billie for sure, because she's just so captivating and lovely, and I'm just obsessed with her anyways. But this is a project that honestly for a while was probably going to be my number 1, because I'd gone back and forth with the number 2 project, and then if the number 1 didn't drop, like, I think Billie could have been number 1, but I love this space. I feel like this is her. Like, she could have like just self-titled this project, and I think it would have been perfect. But I love the, I'm attacked now. I'm being attacked now. I love the themes. It's so seductive and slow and atmospheric, and her live performance with the Tiny Desk concert was sensational. You had it just flows so well, guys, and it's not overdone. There's only 10 tracks, and it's just amazing. I couldn't find a track that I didn't like. There's not a moment I didn't like. There's not a second that I wanted to skip. And I've just been replaying it over and over again, and it is something that will stick with me for a while. And Billie, I love you. So check out this video if you tag Billie Eilish, because she doesn't know my love for her in this album. This was amazing. Number 2 album of the year. Like I mentioned, it went back and forth with Billie's at number 3, honestly, but it is Vince Staples' Dark Times. It is so polished. It is so it is so focused. So polished, so focused. From the opening words of "Tears fall from the sky," like, you just know he has hit the space, and it is perfect. The perfect discography, I think. It just comes from this like contemplative place that kind of takes you through what he's going through in his life. It feels like you're walking through a void, just this dark void, and just going through a journey. And I love it. I love almost basically every second of what Vince did on this. It's not too star-studded, it's not long, it's perfect. Like 13 songs, 35 minutes. It moves from these slower interlude pieces to even just like the raps of Black and Blue and Lil Homies and Shame on the Devil, just taking you along. Etouffee, like, oh guys, this was a project. I see some people rank it pretty low, and I'm just like, I don't know if you get it, because it's so polished with all his amazing other stuff in his discography. This just feels so good and polished. So, chef's kiss. Number 1 album of the year. This might come as a surprise, maybe, I don't know, but it is actually Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia. And here's why. I've seen a lot of people saying like this is like not even a top Tyler. I've seen people saying they absolutely love it. And here's my thing. So basically, it's like this, Tyler's kind of fearing adulthood and parenting and growing up, I guess, moving on, the sexuality stuff, responsibility, and just trying to find meaning in life, and like meaning and color. Like that's the main thing with the Saint Chroma character, and like not living in this black and white, but like moving into a space of color. And so I like that Tyler really like tapped into this, and it feels to me like just abusing Tyler this year with so much discography work. Like I have been all over Igor and Flower Boy and Call Me If You Get Lost. Like I've loved it so much that I have just appreciated this album so much. I don't know if it's as hype as some of his other stuff that's come out, but man, I think he just killed this. And you have this, him moving into this space in the album. Like if we go to the actual album, the Saint Chroma character, black and white, moving into the space of being paranoid, of the Hey Jane, the darling eye like floating. But yeah, like Hey Jane with the actual scares and like responsibility, moving into Taking Your Mask Off. And then I love the last half with Take Your Mask Off into Tomorrow, Thought I Was Dead. Like Him has become like one of my favorite songs on here. And I think he just tapped into this space that I love in an artist like this. Like he can rap, but he can also slow it down so much. And I don't know if there's a better Tyler. Like this is one that's gonna sit with me for a while, and I'm really gonna have to like debate if it's one of my favorite Tylers, because I love it. I don't think it's as hype and gets as much love as it deserves. Like even Sticky, like it's so Tyler that I just love it so much, and I'm obsessed with it. So those are my albums of the year. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know like albums I missed. Let me know your own like personal rankings. Drop like comments. I want the comments flooded with just personal recommendations. I can check out new stuff in the year. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe for more stuff coming. 2025, another fire year I think is coming. I think January is supposed to be insane. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe for me and my doggy. Thanks for joining the channel and my Jake replacement. See you guys on the next one.